everybody, have you ever had pneumonia? If you have, then you would probably say that it isn't very fun. And I would know this because for the vast majority of this summer, I've had a case of walking pneumonia, and I say it isn't very fun. So my case of walking pneumonia started during the last week of school, which was finals week. It also happened to be the week when the Canadian wildfires were really bad and screwing up air quality for the entire northeastern United States. One day in the middle of this eventful week, I woke up with an itchy throat, and I was like, man, this is probably not good. So I did what a normal person would do and went to school. I mean, it was finals week. What do you expect me to do, miss a test over a small little sickness? That's like training for the Olympics and then missing it because of a stomach bug. It just doesn't make too much sense. But this small little sickness soon progressed into something much worse. A slightly bigger, more annoying sickness. When I got home from school, everything had gotten worse, and I had a fever. But I simply figured that this was a small allergy or a cold that was amplified by the terrible air quality. So I decided to do the only reasonable thing to do and go to bed. And most times when I go to bed with the sickness, I wake up better. So the next morning I woke up much better, with only a slightly minor cough, which was good because I had a lot of stuff to do that day. Like go to the last day of school, get a Slurpee from Speedway, go to my cousin's graduation party in Illinois where the air quality was just as bad, if not worse. Is that you, Boobaba? So I did all of that stuff with a small cough, and when I got home, I noticed that surprisingly my small cough had not gotten better, and instead got much worse. But then again, I figured it was just a small allergy and that would go away and not ruin my summer plans, which at that point was just to play GeoGuessr in a dark room and eat chips. Yippee, I knew it was Luxembourg! But 2 weeks later, the cough still wasn't gone, and at this point, I was pretty mad at Canada for having the wildfires that were causing me what I thought was bronchitis. Canada Dry Ginger Ale is mediocre ginger ale. After a week of coughing, my mom took me to the doctor, and then they did some stuff, and then the doctor comes back and goes, I think you have walking pneumonia. So it turns out that this small little case of coughing that I wasn't worrying about was actually walking pneumonia, which is basically just a really mild case of pneumonia that doesn't require hospitalization. This diagnosis was a bit of a surprise to me, because I couldn't think of how I got walking pneumonia in the first place until about 5 minutes later. My mom took me to the doctor, and it turns out I have a mild case of pneumonia. My personal theory is that I got the virus that gives you walking pneumonia from hanging out with Charles, and then the Canadian smoke worsened it and gave me walking pneumonia. But anyway, I took the pills that the doctors gave me, and it felt really good for about 2 weeks. Then the coughing came back, and I was like, man, it's probably nothing. But my mom thought it was something, so she took me to the doctor, and they determined that the walking pneumonia was gone. But it ended up activating my sports-induced asthma, which is why I was still coughing. So now, a few times a day, I have to breathe into this silly contraption that looks like a woodwind instrument and shoots medication into my throat to stop the coughing. So what did I get out of this experience? Well, I can now say that I play a musical instrument and survived the thing that killed President William Henry Harrison, which means that I am better than a president. Also, if Charles ever gives me another sickness, I'm gonna dropkick him. Anyway, thanks for watching.